In today's day and age, it's become difficult for people to be impressed. We see hundreds of cool and amazing things every day on social media, so boredom has become everyone's go-to reaction. But this video is different. Today I've gathered the most mesmerizing things that you'll see for the very first time. Let's get it on! There are loads of people that will tell you just how satisfying a bit of DIY can be. They're usually talking about a different kind of satisfaction though, but this type takes no work. We just get to watch someone else doing the labor and satisfyingly remove some horrible popcorn ceiling. There's no greater viewing on earth than watching that slightly gross texture peel off the ceiling. It looks absolutely effortless and I'm not going to question why. Let's just enjoy it. You can tell you've reached adulthood when you stop believing in magic. Still, adults go to see magicians though, so there has to be some doubt in your mind, and that's the part of your brain that should watch this video. This is someone painting an ostrich egg with magic. Any rational human can see it's magic. They're not even touching it with a brush. It has to be some kind of spell, or it could be wax painted on so the glaze doesn't stick. There are a lot of satisfying moments you've seen that are way out of our reach for one reason or another, but this doesn't need any huge machines or strange skills. You just need to dry the right fabric. You would never think it, but watching the clean colors reveal themselves when you didn't even realize they weren't normal in the first place is one of the best things you'll ever see. Now, I don't know why it's so mesmerizing, but it just is. Cleaning is awful. That's a universal truth. There are always too many things to clean and too many ways to do it wrong, so watching someone do it really well can be the best thing ever. How would you clean this bucket? Whatever your answer is, I bet it wouldn't be as effective as just scraping it out like this guy did. All that mess, all those colors, satisfyingly gathered up and disposed of with no fuss at all. It's a thing of beauty. Beauty products cycle through trends faster than the seasons, so it's almost impossible to keep track of what they're actually selling you. So here's one from a few years back that you've probably never seen in its natural form: aloe vera. This factory worker sure knows their way around the strange succulent plant. How someone can have those kinds of knife skills when working with something that's slippery is almost impossible to understand, but I don't care. I could watch them slice that Jello plant for the rest of the day. Anyone who's ever been traumatized by quicksand nearly causing the demise of their favorite hero might think that this is more terrifying than satisfying, but either way, it's really cool. It turns out that if you jump up and down on wet sand, you can turn it into a liquid. Seriously, you can create your very own real-life quicksand in just a few jumps. Why would you do that, you ask? Isn't it dangerous? Probably, but I'm starting to think it might just be worth it. Maybe just get your friend to do it and watch from a safe distance. You can learn a lot from other cultures. They have things you could never dream of that might just blow your mind when you first see them. Like this. What's this weird robot doing? It's cutting noodles and flinging them into a pot of boiling water to cook. Just imagine all the things we could have been using this gadget for, if only we'd known something so cool actually existed. I'm sure it can slice and fling all sorts of things, not just noodles. Where will we get a block of cheese that size? When asked to think about the most satisfying thing on earth, most people will jump straight to thoughts of food. But I'm about to take that one step further. Imagine your food being delivered like this.
My question is, what the hell?
These roller skating waiters are in China, and of course they don't only bring food to your table, but you can bet that watching these guys come into the dining area in perfect unison like this will definitely improve your level of satisfaction at this restaurant, no matter what you're eating. There's no real way to explain how difficult it is to clear snow to someone who's never done it. It's one of those everyday things that are way more challenging than they should be.
It was at this moment that he knew.
That's why people keep inventing gadgets to try and make it easier, but I never felt like I was looking at a great idea for a snow clearing machine until now. Don't ask me how it works. It looks like it scoops and blows at the same time. The point is, I've never seen snow just disappear like that. We all sort of know that most things aren't as they seem these days. Everything's manufactured in surprising ways, and you can't tell when something's artificial anymore. Even though we suspect this, it can still surprise us. Sure, everything's fake, but you kinda don't imagine bricks to fall into that category. Of course, there are real bricks in the world, but I bet you won't be able to tell which is which. Next time you're looking at a cobblestone path, try not to think too hard about if it's real or if you're in the Truman Show. It's true what they say, sometimes the little things in life really are the best. This is the simplest thing you'll ever see, but it might also be the most satisfying. This person's using a roller to wring out a sponge. That's it, not a single bell or whistle, just a wet sponge and a clever idea. Is it crazy to wonder what it will cost to get one of these put over my kitchen sink? Sometimes your eyes can deceive you. You see something and just presume you know what's going on when in reality, the thing you're looking at isn't what it looks like. Keep that in mind while I show you this beluga whale's squishy forehead. Yep, I told you that you didn't even know there was something you'd missed. Oh, and dolphins have a bubble head like that as well. That's right, the mysteries of the deep have been revealed by that cute smiling whale. Oh, Canada. It's a quaint nation that the rest of the world doesn't really understand beyond maple syrup, but that's because most countries don't get nearly as cold as Canada. We just don't know the struggles these people face. Like, what do you do when your tub of water freezes over? It turns out the answer is much more satisfying than I expected. You pull the ice out, and you get one big tub-shaped chunk of ice, and it's gorgeous. Gardening is one of those things that you either love or hate. Some people can't wait to get out into the sunshine to mow their lawn. Others would rather be doing anything else. But it may surprise you that even if you're one of those people who can't stand trimming a hedge, watching someone else trim hedges can be one of the most satisfying things you'll ever do. Who would have guessed a hedge trimmer would make for a better viewing experience than most TV shows? A lot of people only ever see farmers working in cartoons. And I hope this information doesn't hurt too much, but talking animals don't usually run farms. Actually, farming is pretty hard work, so people are always coming up with amazing machines to help out. This is how farmers plant elephant grass, and this clever roller machine closes up the ground like there was never anything planted there in the first place. I don't know how people come up with these things, but I'm really glad someone takes the time to film it. Sometimes good things appear in the places you least expect them. For example, you might find one of the most satisfying things you've ever seen in the middle of a pool of cement. There's just something so mesmerizing about watching that texture go from chunky and rough to perfectly level and smooth. It's an ugly duckling style transformation, except with building materials instead of a fluffy baby swan. It's amazing what a few skilled builders can achieve. Not everything is what it seems. That can be great because pleasant surprises can pop up anywhere. This looks like an unremarkable overflow from some kind of dam or river, but wait 1 second and you'll see the secret. It's frozen. This is the satisfying video you never knew you needed in your life. Watching a huge, thin sheet of ice sliding along the top of the water and shattering as it hits the floor. It's so simple and so mesmerizing at the same time. In a collection of cool videos, it would be pretty dumb to not include at least one great sporting trick, because let's face it, sports are chock full of incredible stunts and amazingly satisfying moments. We found one that's both cool and satisfying though. This is the smoothest BMX stunt you'll ever see in your life. Perfect, sleek rotations, low to the ground like a sports car, and all perfectly executed by someone who clearly knows what they're doing. It's like he's worked out how to turn his bike into a whirlpool. It looks like a simple trick, but there's nowhere to hide when executing something like this.